Hi there, welcome back to Triplicate, and I couldn't resist. I was going to do other videos but couldn't resist. Going to build one of these up, our finger string as I call them, and see if we can get it working. So that is the business side. So above there is just spaced off it a length of copper tape, which you press on to that zigzag track, which forms a quite small value resistor, though very long. And on the back here we have basically just an amplifier. So I am going to put these components onto this bit of circuit board, and I will bring you along using this microscope. Okay, so I have here, no, too big to read, 1 ohm, which is R11. I'm going to do these in this order. Right, here we go, R11. Dab of solder on the pad. Into place, near enough for hand soldered. Swap hands on the iron, and dab on the other end. There we go, R11 fitted, and I am going to plod on and do most of the rest, and bring you back when there's something more interesting than resistors to show you. Alright, so I've got all the passives on. So now just the op amps, which come not very well packed, just thrown into a plastic bag. However, there you go. Probably should have some sort of anti-static on as well. There you go, DIY anti-static, DIY anti-static. These op amps are terribly static prone. They all come flying out of the bag. Right, so there we have one. It is the way of surface mount components upside down. Alright, so let's make this magnetic probably, because we'll need a plated steel. Oh no, not too much. That's better. Right. I think we're good. We can just look at the rest of the pins. Alright, I think we are ready to connect some wires to it and give it a try. Okay, so I have here a clothes peg and a piece of copper tape, mirror around the middle, so it should read something sensible. And I've got my negative cable here connected to that, and I've got a positive here, but I'm not going to connect it up right now. So that's at 2.2 volts, and I've set the current limit to 100 milliamps thereabouts. So this I'm going to turn down to 0. This I am going to connect up, and I'm going to start winding the voltage up. Now the thing should draw, I guess, next to 100 milliamps through the finger string element, so it's hard to tell if the electronics is drawing more than it should, but we will turn her up anyway. Well, not sure. Well, that's at 3.3, 47 milliamps. Yeah, okay. You probably can't see this, so I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing. Right, R9 and R10. So let's see if we've got voltage going down the element, and if so, how much. Right, so if we got the positive, we have 3.3. So this is R9, which is 3.3 plays, what's it, where do we got at the other end? 1.8. Okay. So if we look at R11, so that is the bottom end, which is 1.4, 1.42, 1.47. Right, that is R11, that's one end. That is just to sense when there is no finger pressed on the finger string. And yeah, so if we look at our, whatever it is, 10, we get 1.4 and 0. So with this in the middle, we should, out of J1, which is the blue one, we should get 2.1. That looks okay. If it's not to the rail, it should be around 2.1. And the other one, we should get double that, 1.0. Alright. Right, that's the top, and that's, and yes, see that is the top, the blue, and that's the wiper. So that looks to me as if it's working. Okay, so we've established this works functionally. Will it perform up to what we want in practice? Well, eventually there will be 4 of these stacked edge to edge, but for now I'm just going to build up one roughly, but good enough to convince ourselves that it's doing the job. And well, this was our single wire that we tried. Well, I might leave this on for now and build this onto the other side. Okay, this sits on here, supported by spacers, draw these holes, and along here, and I ordered this and it's too short. How did I do that? Anyway, we can improvise at this point. So there'll be 2 strips of that sitting up over there and a strip all the way across. I mentioned 2 strips running on there, so then there's a gap between here and here, and on the underside of here there runs some copper tape. So given it's too short, but we're going to make 2 little bits, I am going to cut some bits of this. It's also translucent, which is not really what I wanted. I'm going to cut some bits of this and we will reconvene and see if we can put it together. Okay, so this is one of the unbuilt boards, and we've got, by way of spacers, some M5 nuts, because I once accidentally bought a box of 1,000 M5 nuts. They have more than I will ever use, so I use them for anything I can possibly use them for. Okay, and we have some little pilot holes and a bit of wood, and we have 2 strips of this stuff which go down the sides like that and that. And then we haven't got the copper tape on this yet. Oh, that's fallen off. And we've got some screws to hold them all together. So now I need to make a couple of little bits, well, 2 more little bits of strips to go here, and another little bit of the top bit to go on the top here, and I will order some A2, which is about that long. So for now we're going to have this break in, which is not ideal, but I don't think it'll stop us getting something working to our satisfaction. So next job is to make these 2 little, well, the 2 supports and the top bit to go here. Okay, I have all the bits I need now, so the first job I think is to take my copper tape and tape it down the middle of these 2 bits, so they are one bit, as it were. It's got a piece of plastic to stop it all. Right, we'll get rid of that. I think just to make life easier, I shall chop a length off to start with. That length. Get rid of that piece of plastic. And I wonder whether it's worth putting some screws in. I think it is, just to hold these in place. I think I'm just going to eyeball this down the middle. Yep, you've got it. Ooh, come on, this way. Remove a bunch of that and start again. Oops. Well, not perfectly straight by any means, but we're going to go with it. Okay, so we want spacers. Let's put it around there. And we want it approximately in the right place. Right, last time I don't know the parallels. Right, well, missing one number, I'm not sure I'm going to get one. Let's start from this end. So, we need that, and that, and, yeah, whoop, that. And hopefully if all those holes are lined up, I'll be able to put a screw, and I don't think I'll be line enough. We'll try. Okay. Okay, that's alright. And those holes, that's fine. Okay, that's lined up with that. And these screws do seem to be long enough. Just slide some out. Oh, in you go. Alright, that's about it. Well, I'm going to put them all in. And see how badly all this misalignment is, and then possibly do something about it. So I'm going to keep plodding on at this, and then we'll reconvene. Okay, well there it is. I haven't put all the screws in because I've come to the conclusion the screws are not the way to go. It's bowed up between the screws really badly in some places, and the holes aren't lined up adequately. Probably line them up better. Used the screws because I thought it'd be easier to pull it apart than if I just stuck it all together with double-sided tape. But I think I will actually at this point try and wire it up and get it doing something, and then we can go back in when we've done that and stick it together with tape. So next job I will get the main body of the thing, so to speak, and we'll see if we can connect these wires to something. Okay, so here it is, just plonked on top of the original string system and tacked into the original wiring. So let's see how it does. I've got this in test mode, so it's only picking up the string and not actually trying to play. Let's fire it up. Okay, there we are. We're looking at the top one, and it's a bit slow to respond because of the Camtasia screen record and this heresy program not getting along terribly well. But we will endeavour to do this. Yeah, you can see it's working. up and it keeps losing it because the way I have done it with these screws, it's just bowed up and it's too far above the resistive element, and in places like here the tape is not in the right place. So far so good, but I am going to actually now stick all this together with double-sided tape so it's all held, it's all flat, and then we will try and actually see if it works musically. Okay, so here we have a bunch of blocks of Perspex acrylics, double-sided to the bottom, and let's see if we can get these wires. With those on, and I guess the board, with the manufacturing processes, the board isn't exactly straight, but that's fine. We have a nice straight, I hope, piece of wood. So we're going to get some more double-sided tape on the bottom of these and glue them down to the board. So let's do that. Okay, here we are, double-sided tape on the bottom. I'm going to quick sand to the surface of the wood, try and make it nice and flat. And we'll start at one end and just run along like that. Oh, I like it, lovely. Nice and stable. Right, so now we have to get these guys on. Okay, these are the two little ones. I've put the two little ones at this end rather than that end, in case I have to remake them, because I've cut out some little bits for these sticking through bits of wire, and as you can see I've put one layer of one run of tape along the bottom, and I'm going to cut them in half. So I shall do that now. So down the middle. Oh, don't drop it. So that one goes like that, and this one well, the second one came out a bit better than the first one. However, they will, yep, fit round those connections. Little bits of solder sticking up. So now let's get the tape off the back and stick them down. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Another one. See what I'm doing. There we go. Right. Just got to do the long ones now, which should be relatively straightforward. Okay, so they're stuck down, and I realise now I want a run of tape on the top of each, so I should have put a run on the top and the bottom and then cut the assembly in half. Never mind. I'll just have to use 2 runs of tape. What a waste of tape, eh? Only got a huge great reel of the stuff. Okay, got the tape on. Let's try and get the top on with the oh, and I've just broken off the tape with the connection to the circuit on. Okay. Well, there we go. Apart from the fact I've broken the connection off, might have to run a connection down to the other end. But apart from that, we are ready to try it. Okay, so here she is, all connected up again, and this curious connection. So shall we see what happens if we fire it up? Okay. Nothing. Okay, why is it not working? Because the copper tape is on the top. Oh no. I've carefully lined things up and put things along and put it on the wrong way up. Right, so I would attempt to take it off and put it on the other way up without wrecking everything. And we shall see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to break the tape in the middle of that join there. So I've got a wire on each end, and that should work. And it is on the bottom now. So shall we try again? Let's fire this up. Okay. Not powered up. Okay. That looks to be working all right. So, are we going to put the program in music mode and try that? Okay, so we've got the tape facing down, and I've fiddled with a serial port so it doesn't buffer it all the time. So shall we have a go? Okay, I've got no calibration on it, so I've no idea what the notes are, but that actually seemed to work alright. It is a bit of a, you do have to press quite hard. I think we actually need more width of unsupported top, as it were, so it's a bit easier to press down, but I think we're there. I think we're working. And I think I'll probably leave it for this video here, and on the next video on the hardware get on to building the 4 strings properly mounted, not just cobbled together like this and broken and fixed and what have you. So for this video that's it, so it's goodbye from Triplicate.